Welcome to the ArmaniTalks podcast. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this podcast, I'm helping you level up your 5 soft skills: public speaking, storytelling, social dynamics, emotional intelligence, and creativity. 5 soft skills for you to change your life forever, skyrocket your confidence along the way. In today's episode, we're entering the world of social skills, and I'm going to be sharing why I don't think it's smart for friends to do business together. You ever heard of the concept known as friends are great as friends, but friends are not always great as roommates? I've had this happen to me a couple of times where I was a buddy with someone and I thought, man, you are so fun to watch the sports game with. I actually need a new roommate. How about you be my new roommate? And this person agrees. And in the initial stages, everything is going well. We're still watching sports together. We're talking about life and we're having a good time. Until one day, I realized that this buddy, aka turned roommate, doesn't like to do the dishes. He's one of those guys that will eat a meal and leave his plate on the table. And I'll ask him, I'll be like, yo, buddy, aka my roommate, when are you going to put that plate away? And he's like, I'll get to it. And I'll ask, when will you get to it, buddy? That's when he says, I'll get to it when I get to it. More time goes on by, and the table goes from having 1 plate on it to now having 5 plates on it. And this time, I have to confront my buddy again. This buddy of mine, who is now my roommate, unfortunately, is not the cleanest person, and I'm signed on a lease with him for the remainder of the year. I do not think, for the most part, that you should room with a close friend unless you guys have similar habits as well. If you guys have different habits, then there can easily be a problem. And likewise, I think the same concept applies to business. I was recently watching this Everybody Loves Raymond episode where Ray, he's the main character, his oven is not working. And initially, he asked his dad to fix it. But his dad's an old man at this point and he can't fix it. So Ray's wife, Deborah, asks Ray's best friend, Gianni, to fix it. Now in the beginning, Gianni is sweet talking away. He's like, Deborah, Ray, you don't have to worry. I am a licensed contractor. I can easily install a new oven for you. And Ray and Deborah are feeling good. They're about to get this new oven in no time. Once the project begins, that's when Gianni switches up. He doesn't seem to be a sharp contractor anymore. Instead, he's a lazy schmuck. He's over here bringing his TV with him to work, making crass jokes, scratching himself. He's pretty much doing everything but installing the new oven. One day, Deborah goes to Ray, and Deborah says, Ray, we got to do something about Gianni. I mean, he's awful. We got to fire him. And now Ray is in a weird predicament because that's his best friend. Ray says, look, I have an idea. Rather than fire Gianni, he's going to motivate Gianni to the finish line. He's over here motivating Gianni. Gianni is finally putting in work. And after weeks, the new oven arrives. All Gianni has to do is install the new oven, collect his paycheck, and everything is good. But there's a problem. Right as he is about to install the new oven, what happens is that it doesn't fit. He didn't do the correct measurements. And at this point, Gianni says to Ray and Deborah, don't worry, the newer oven will be here in a couple of more weeks. And this is when Deborah freaks out. This is when Ray throws in the towel and says, look, just put the old oven back. We'll take care of the rest. Hopefully that was the end of it, but it wasn't. Gianni says, fine, we could do that. Anyways, here's your bill. Initially, Gianni said the bill was going to cost $1,500, but the bill that he gives Ray is for $2,000. Ray looks at it and says, wait a minute, you're charging me $500 extra and I don't even get a new oven? This is BS. And Gianni is mad at Ray for being a cheapskate. Gianni's like, what? You're my friend? And you don't want to pay me? Come on, man. What gives? They're going back and forth until Ray tears up the bill. When he tears up the bill like that, it was a symbol for the friendship was over. Gianni says, never call me for anything again, and he leaves and he slams the door. But guess what? This is TV. And in TV, good things happen. There's happy endings. And what happens is that eventually Gianni comes around. He apologizes. Ray apologizes as well. And all is good. But in the real world, homie, it doesn't always work like that. When Gianni walks out the door, he's not coming back. And when you build a business relationship with someone, you have to keep that in mind. Are you willing to lose the friendship if things go wrong? I do business with my friends every now and then, but it's something small. Let's say they know how to cut hair. I'll say, all right, what about you cut my hair? Don't worry. I trust you. If they mess up, here's the thing. I know my hair is going to grow back, and it's going to grow back pretty soon. But if they lose me a lot of money, it's not coming back soon. There's a dark cloud looming over our friendship, and why am I going to put myself in that position for? If I must do business with a friend, I will tell them from the very beginning, look, I'm great as a friend, but working with me is a pain in the ass. When I say I'm going to be here at this time, I expect to be here at this time. And if the person I'm working with is not here at this time, I'm going to call him out. I'm saying this with a smile on my face, but I have fiery eyes to let them know that I'm not joking around. Do you still want to work with me? If they do, then they do. Overall, though, I don't do business with friends too much. I try to support them from afar, but I don't try to make this a long-lasting business partnership for a very simple reason. Whenever money is introduced, it changes up the dynamics. Are you someone that is willing to lose the money? Are you someone that is willing to lose a friend? If so, then this episode may not matter too much for you. But if the answer is no, then be very, very, very wary about working with a friend. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks podcast, and I'll catch you next time.